I'm Tricia from Club Scrap, and this is one of the favorite cards of the month that I've created with the Hopes Greetings to Go card collection. I thought you might find it helpful to see how I made the card. I'm starting out with the manila tag that comes right in the Greetings to Go collection, and I'm inking up the stem image from the Unmounted Borders and Backgrounds sheet from the Hopes collection, and just stamping it right onto the manila tag a few times. I like to always stamp off the edge of the tag too. I think it improves the image, if that's the type of thing you're going for. So a trio of earth-colored stems. Next, I'll take the leaf image from the same Borders and Backgrounds unmounted sheet, and I'm aligning it up on my acrylic block so that the center base of the stem is right at the intersecting center point on my acrylic block. Ink it and then stamp it off onto something and then onto the stem. You see how cool that looks? So ink, stamp off, and stamp on. And that way you get an image that's half strength. You can see here again how I'm lining up that base of that stem, or base of the leaf rather, right onto the stem. And I'm going into the stem a little bit with the leaf, not stamping it right on the tip of the stem. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're working through and covering the entire sheet. If you have a slight imperfection in the image, it isn't going to matter. Now that I have all the foliage in place, it's time to add my flower image. And this time I'm working with the Club Scrap Tangerine ink. I love how the layers I already have on the tag are only created with one ink color, the earth color. So now with our newer color Tangerine, I love how this flower is looking on there. And once again, I'm stamping off of the edge of the tag just to make sure that I create a nice complete image. Next, I'll use a fine-tipped Faber-Castell Pitt pen to add some hand-drawn components to this card. And I think this might be the part that could possibly freak you out a little bit, but when you see how easy this is, you're going to want to try this. I promise. It's not hard. I can just take that fine-tip pen and freehand draw an outline. And the object of the game here is to be messy. Can you just trust me on this? A double line around the perimeter of each of these little shapes is just all I'm looking for. So 2 lines, and I'm doing this quickly. This is real time. I did not like speed it up or anything. I'm deliberately trying to be a little bit on the messy side. So if I go over it twice, I mean, let's just say you're trying too hard. Like put the pen in your left hand and then work with it. But you can see how much it adds just a little whimsical feel to the artwork here, the double line on every single image. Next, I'm working with Faber-Castell's new water brush. I just love this water pen. It's so nice, and also the gelatos. And I'm having a lot of fun with these gelatos. So if you squeeze a ton of water into the nib of your brush and then just pick up the watercolor from the gelato and splatter it onto the tag, I'm working with a dark brown. And then the color that's left in the brush, I'm just sort of outlining the edge of the tag. You can see the deliberate care here. I just think the more relaxed you are during this process, the nicer this tag is going to turn out. So I've just added just color around the edge of the tag, not hard to do. And then after rinsing my brush tip into my cleaning rag there, picking up some orange ink this time to add a little bit more color to the tag. Love how it's turning out. Again, if you're working with the splattering and nothing's happening, just make sure you add more water. Without water, there's no splatter. Last but not least, I will finish things up with a tad of, I just was lucky and happened to have some orange glitter glue. You could certainly work with an iridescent or some other color, but the orange just really sets off the tangerine ink on those flowers. So I'm going over those pencil lines, essentially the pen lines that I made, with a little bit of glitter glue, and just channel your inner Kay Williamson. Just keep it classy and simple, and yet that touch of glitter adds so much. Then layer everything onto a card, finish with a dragonfly brad and a sentiment from the unmounted font art sheet. You've got yourself a beautiful card. Give it a whirl.